Hello and welcome back, Charlotte here for Sasayaki Glitter, and today is release day, so we have some new images to play with. I'm going to be showing you this image, which is image number 168, called Love Sheep, and I'm just going to be making a very quick and simple card with it. So of course I started by printing it onto some alcohol marker friendly paper, and I'm going to colour it in with my Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers. All the caps are on screen so that you can see what colours I am using. If you have the regular Spectrum Noir markers, their colours may be slightly different from the Illustrator markers, and of course Copics and other brands are different, but this will at least give you an idea of what colours you could use. So I'm using a very light grey and using it to go around and add just a little shading onto all the portions of the bodies of both sheep, so their heads, ears, arms and legs, and I'm using my blender pen to soften it out and give it a nice blend. And you don't have to use grey for this. Of course you could give them black or brown arms and legs and faces if you prefer, or even if you want to go white you could use a kind of light creamy colour instead of the light grey, which would just give a different look to their bodies. So having finished that, I will colour in their little hooves. I'm using my darkest greys for this. I would probably use even darker ones if I had them, but these are the darkest I have. So these are some brown greys, and the image actually has highlights drawn into it, so that's nice and easy. I just put my darkest colour on the outer portions, and then my next the lighter colour of the combination I was using onto the highlights. Then I will move on to colouring the butterflies that come around the image, and I decided to do these purple. So I'm using two shades of purple, one for the wings and then one for the body and the kind of decorative element on the bottom wings. And I did two that were mostly light purple with dark purple, and then the other three are dark purple with light purple features. So I will just get all of the butterflies coloured in. And then I will move on again, and I'm going to colour in the bow on the lady sheep, but I'm going to colour this on a different image because I will be fussy cutting this out, so I need to be able to pop it up later, so I have a second image to colour in here. You wouldn't necessarily need to print out the whole image again because you only need the bow. I had some issues with my printer at the time and ended up with two copies, so then I'm going to add my texture to my wool, and for this I'm using a Marvy Uchida snow pen. You need to give it a good shake and then get the flow started on a piece of scrap paper, and then just apply it all over the woolen area, and you can pump it a bit as you go around just to make sure it is flowing nicely. This is of course a wet element, so it may warp your paper slightly, but I find if I wet quickly it's not too much of a problem. So I just colour all of the wool area on both of the sheep, so their bodies, their tails, and also the bits on the top of their heads. I will then grab my heat gun that was warming off to the side, and I will use that to warm up the liquid that I've just put down, and as you can see it starts to bubble up, and it will kind of puff up and bubble and start to set, although I would suggest not really playing with it, not touching it too much until it's been allowed to cool down a bit, because you don't want to flatten it. I then went back and added a little bit more colour just in their eyes, just to add some dimension to their eyes. Then I will fussy cut out that bow that I coloured on the other image, and just carefully cut around it. It's a fairly simple shape to cut. With fussy cutting you want to move slowly and move the paper and not your scissors. The scissors I have are not the best for fussy cutting. I really ought to get some better ones. A smaller blade would probably be much easier because these ones are quite big, but they work. And you can, if you have a more fiddly image, you can of course use your craft knife to go in and get the fiddly areas, but this piece I found was easy enough just to do with the scissors. So that will go into place on the lady sheep. I've put just a little bit of foam tape and then some glue on the back of the bow where it will be overlapping her wool, and just press that into place. And then I used double-sided tape to adhere the image panel to a purple card base. I chose purple because there was all the purple in the image as well, and that completes my card. I hope you enjoyed it. The snow pen's a really great way to add texture, and I find it works nicely for fur and wool. If you'd like to see the rest of the release, be sure to head over and check out the Sasayaki Glitter shop. There are links down below to all the products used, as well as the shop and all our social media. Thank you for watching today's video. Do make sure you're subscribed both to my channel and the Sasayaki Glitter channel by pressing the buttons on screen, and there are also a couple of videos on screen that you may enjoy. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!